how to use bristle brushes with effects to create some amazing designs in Illustrator. Go to the paintbrush tool in the tools panel and got the options there. Double click to get the options up. Don't need particularly any of those, but I wanted to show you can do that. Also, you need some panels. So window menu and appearance and brushes, as well as graphic styles. They'll be useful later. So there's the brushes. Ones you can see some bristle brushes there. They're the ones with the little brush at the end. And you can select those, and you can also double click to change the options. And you can find many tutorials about that on the Graphicxtras channel, all the various options to create different brushes. Set the preview on and you can see the design change there as you move the sliders around. But you can also see a preview in the brushes options there. Once you're happy with that, click OK and then apply to stroke, and there's your design. Now if you haven't got any bristle brushes, if there's none in the panel, what you need to do, just go to the right side menu of brushes and new brush, and then go to bristle brush. Click OK, and then do exactly the same. Just change all the settings, and again you've got the preview so you can see roughly what it will look like. Obviously depends on the path you actually use, and you can tweak all the various sizes, length, etc. Once you're happy with that design, click OK, and then it's saved to the brushes panel. And now you can just apply it. So go to the paintbrush tool and apply it. Just very quickly apply. Now it's applied currently in red. You can see that in the appearance panel. Not that you can actually see that it's red in the part itself. It's quite invisible, to be honest. You can see it over there in the appearance. You've got stroke. You can change the size, the weight of the stroke. So you make that 6, and you can see it's quite low opacity there. And you can change that by just going to the options, by double clicking on the bristle brush, on the brush itself. And you can change a variety of other things. And you can also change the colour. So I don't particularly want to use red. I'm going to use black all the way through this. But you can use red if you wish, or green or blue, yellow, etc. Other colours are available. And that's all done via the appearance panel. What you do is go to the effect menu, and you can add effects, distort and transform, and I'm going to go for transform. And that brings up the panel, transform effect, and you can put the preview on. It doesn't do that by default. And you can set the number of copies, maybe 20. And then you can change other settings such as scale or move or the angle. I'm just going to go for like 15 pixels, etc. So I can change that, and you can see then that path, that stroke is repeated 15 pixels time, 20 times. Click OK. And you can see it's a bit wider now. Just want to go to the graphic styles, and I want to save that. Just want to store it away. So new graphic style, and that's on the right side menu, and there it's saved away to the graphic styles panel as a preset. So you can apply at any point later. And you can click on any of the bristle brushes. So you can just change your mind. Just go to that one there. And you can see it's a bit clearer there. You've got obviously a lot more strokes there. But you've got a single path. Let's remove that. And now, because I've got in the appearance panel, new basic art, new art as basic appearance, I should say. Get it correct way around. Every time I do that, it's turned off. So every time I apply it, it will always have that appearance applied. There's the appearance panel. And that's a very useful panel. You can add a lot more things. You can add effects. You can change effects. You can always just click on that transform, and you can change the settings. So just click on it and change maybe the angle. Take a 1 or 2 degrees, 10 degrees, whatever you wish. And then maybe change the number of copies. And you can also change, of course, the scale as well as the move settings. Put that back to 0. Click OK. Now, of course, there's nothing applied yet because there's no brush there. So just use the paintbrush tool and just apply it. And now you can see a lovely circular design created. Now I can change it again. So I don't want that exactly. I'm going to go click again on transform. And I just want to change the origin point. Again, don't need a preview on. Just click OK. And now apply it. And you can all see a change. So there's the design I wanted to create. Now every time I apply a brush stroke, it will have the similar sort of look. So just change the angle there, and you can see the radial designs like curves in there. Again, you apply that. But you can also add many other effects as well. You don't have to just add that one. What you can do, you can go to the right side of the appearance panel, and there's an option there, add new stroke. And what that does, that adds a new stroke. Strange enough, there's the existing one, which has the bristle brush, and now there's a new one that doesn't have the bristle brush. And again, you can change the settings if you wish. That drop down, the stroke. But what you can also do, with that stroke selected, you can go to maybe Effects menu, Distort and Transform, and maybe use something like Roughen or Tweak. And of course, as there's no stroke displayed, there's no preview on. And you can just set the values. Now you'll see there Roughen just below the first stroke in that list. And what you can do, and I think it's always best to do, is always go to the right side menu of Graphicxtras and save a new graphic style. Give it a name, click OK. And there is a reason why I'm doing that. Because you'll see, weirdly, when you apply the brush stroke again, even though I've got the option for new art has base appearance turned off, it doesn't actually save the stroke. The second stroke. But there is a workaround. Simply use the Graphicxtras panel. So you just apply it there and then go to the Graphicxtras panel and just click on there. And then you will get that roughen design there. You can see the additional stroke with the roughen effect. Now, your version of Illustrator may do it properly. I think it should store both, the appearance panel, when you apply it, but for some weird reason it doesn't. So a workaround is the graphic style panel. And what you can do, you can go to that transform there, and you notice that it's not applying the roughen to all the way around. So what you need to do is go to that transform, that entry. Now if you try and drag it from one side, it will not work. Go to that side and then drag down. You can see now you can drag it and put it just below the fill. So everything. Now that roughen effect is transformed as well. So you can see both strokes now have been transformed. As well as the fill, if there was a fill. So you can see that lovely roughen effect all the way around now, instead of just on that one single entry. You can always move entries around in that appearance panel. And again, I would suggest go to the Graphicxtras panel and new graphic style and click OK. Save it away. And again, what you can do, you can go and change the brush. Bristle brush, you can go and select a different one. You don't have to use one that's existing there. So again, if you play again, you notice it again, it doesn't use the second stroke. So again, go back to the Graphicxtras and just click there, and then you've got it. And what you can do, you can of course, it's just a standard path, so you can duplicate it. So go to the Move tool and then hold down the Alt or Option key and drag to duplicate it if you wish. And of course what you can also do, you can always go to that transform and change the settings. Now I've got 10 degrees there, but you could change it to 5, make it more intense. And obviously change the copies if you wish, otherwise you'll get a semicircle. Again, you put the preview on, you can see the result. And once you're happy with your design, then you can click OK. You can also use a reflect, as well as reflect Y, as well as random, if you wish. Sometimes they work well, sometimes they don't. And you also, if you wish, you can change the scale. So I'm going to go with like 98%. So you make a nice curled design. Set the other to 98% as well. Click OK. And again, I would suggest go to the Graphicxtras if you want to save that. Just go to the Graphicxtras, because otherwise when you apply it again the next time you apply the brush, it will not be applied. So new Graphicxtras there in the Graphicxtras panel. That's stored away there. So now you can apply your brush strokes, your bristle brush. You've got that lovely curl effect there. Again, you can always just click on the Graphicxtras to apply the complete Graphicxtras, the roughen effect, as well as the second stroke. And you can move it around. So you can also hold down the Alt or Option key and drag to duplicate the design, so you can create multiple paths. Now what you can also do, of course, you can add additional transforms if you want to as well. So there's a lot of things you can do with these brush strokes to create some very interesting effects. And of course there's some earlier Graphicxtras I created, so I'll just move that out of the way. And you can see the move feature there. And again, you've got a lovely smeary design at the back because of the bristle brush. The bristle brush is really nice for that sort of lovely, sort of beautiful, smudged design. And you just click there, you just run through them, and you can see the different designs that become created very quickly using that. And you can move that around. You can also, again, duplicate that design as well and combine them in multiple different ways. And you can, of course, go back to your appearance panel and tweak it, and then add that to the Graphicxtras panel if you wish. But you can use things like the pen tool or curvature tool and use that as well. So you can see now the same. Now, weirdly, that does use the second stroke when you apply it. It's just the brush doesn't seem to do it. Not certain why. So you can make all kinds of beautiful designs, which of course what you can do, you can always tweak them as well. You can use the various tools to manipulate the path, and you can of course go and select a different graphic style. And again, you've got that lovely shadowy effect behind the lines. And you can continue, obviously once you've applied your style, you can continue to add points, and you'll see that will be reflected with the change there to the brush as it's. And you can use the curvature tool as well. You can also use standard paths. So if you've got rectangles, circles, etc., you can use those as well. And again, they've all got this lovely effect, the roughen effect. And of course, I'm using roughen, but you could use any of the other effects. Maybe you could use the bristle brush combined with 3D extrusions. Up to you. And of course, you can continue to modify the source design there. Then you go for rectangles or create nice frame designs, or circle. And as soon as you apply it, you can go over to the Graphicxtras and apply it there. And of course you can just go and vary the graphic styles. You can also go and vary the brushes as well. You can just go and select a different bristle brush if you wish. Again, this one does have the multiple strokes. And of course you can tweak the circle. You don't have to keep it a circle. You can squeeze it, resize it in different ways, apply different effects to it. You can also use the direct selection tool to manipulate the points. And of course that again will have the bristle brush and the effect as well. So you can create some beautiful designs very quick, and it's got a lovely sort of shadowy effect there with sort of highlights there. All because of the bristle brush. Gives it a sort of chalk drawing look. Hope you found this tutorial of interest. Please subscribe to the Graphicxtras channel. Always adding new tutorials about Illustrator, Photoshop, Affinity Designer, etc. Comments or two, really appreciated. A dislike or like. Thank you much.